Glenn, I guess, John, just how would you describe practice today? How did it go? Were you encouraged by what you saw?
Everything's fine. Everything's good. Had a good practice.
Okay, next we'll go to Bill Rabinowitz. Go ahead, Bill.
John, after watching video of the game last night, do you have anything kind of to add to Lonnie's performance? Did you see something on tape that you liked or maybe you need to work on? Anything?
No, this is what I told you last night. It's just one game. He played 20 minutes. I'm glad he played some minutes. But as I said last night, he can play, and I know he wants more. I know he's going to get his timing. I think that's the biggest thing for him. But he did some good things for us.
Okay, next we'll go to Aaron Portzline. Go ahead, Aaron.
Thanks, Glenn. Thanks, John. You're back to Jones-Werenski in practice today. That pair has been obviously one of the best pairs in the league. Your identity, your engine, I hate to put too much on it, but how big is just their struggle to the way you have played, sort of the choppy up and down you've had, as much as you rely on those guys the first 11 games? Yeah,
they're a huge part of our club. They're a huge part of our transition out of our end zone. It's been a struggle. It's not through the lack of try. It's just been a struggle. And players have gone through it before. We tried to relieve them by changing the pairs. Delzy was making plays, and so we changed things up. But I'm not going to stray too far away from those two because I trust them. And I trust they'll get their game in order. And I do think it'll help us get out of our end zone quicker, as we talked about last night after the game, and help us offensively.
How easy of a fix is what's going on with them right now? When you watch them versus when they're going really well, are there clear things they're doing differently, different reads, different puck plays, et cetera?
Yeah, for players of that caliber, and they're two of the best in the league, and we look at these guys and they're two great players, but they lose confidence too. It's amazing how these top-notch guys at certain times during a year, during their career, whatever it may be, confidence is a big thing because it allows them just to play. That certainly is an issue, and they've got to work through it. I don't need to spend too much time talking to them about it. They're very astute about their game. And they're just going to keep on playing and try to play themselves out of it. And until that happens, we need to help out in any way as coaches and teammates and try to find other ways to get our offense going and get out of our end zone. But, they're just too good of players to continue where they're at right now. And I haven't had many conversations with them at all, Portsy, because I do. I trust them, and they will find a way.
Yeah, and we talk a lot about them, but Savard and Gavrikov have had similar struggles too. Like I'm thinking, you've got options lineup-wise where you could make changes, but you're not going to bring a guy up and put him on the top four. It's the third pair has been your best pair. The top four is what struggled, right?
No, yeah, our top four has had a tough time at the beginning here, and who knows why? Is it camp? There's all different things, and I'm sure other teams have the same problem at certain times with certain players in just a weird year. But we're not going to go into blowing people out of the lineup and bringing someone else up. Although the guys, Peeker and Carly and Harry, they're all working hard at it. I'm not willing to do that because I don't think you need to blow it up like that. We're going to allow them to work through it. They're great pros, and we're going to get out of their way. Shazia showed them some clips, but you just can't keep on going back to that. They're going to have to figure it out, and they're good enough players and good enough people that they will. So at times we just need to get out of the way and let them figure it out.
Thank you.
Next, we'll go to Jeff Svoboda. Go ahead, Jeff.
Thanks, Glenn. Thanks, Torts. There were some times in the third period there where you're able to create some forechecks, sustain some offensive zone time. To do that more consistently, is anything schematic, or is it just a matter of being sharper just in the general play of the team overall?
Well, I just think we started. I thought it started, especially I watched Max on the power play. We had some good puck movement on the power play. Max made some good plays. Jack made some good plays on Jonesy's goal, and just the puck moving all the way through. Just going back to the questions of our back end, you just need something good to happen within your game. And I thought that helped those players. And they just, once they make a couple of good plays, and it may not be a goal scored, it just may be making a good play that they've struggled for the past few games to do, for that to happen, and they build on it. And, I'll tell you guys, if it's a situation where, because we've been an inconsistent hockey club, if it's because that I didn't think guys were trying to work themselves out of it, and there was we have to have a discussion as far as the standard of play, or players judging themselves, which is a little bit different what the coach feels about them. There'd be an issue, and maybe there would be some lineup changes, but I don't see that. We're very honest with one another. We've talked about things we need to do. I do think the biggest thing for all of us as a team here, and I think it's a major problem as a group, is we have been an identity team. We know what our identity is, and we need to get back to that, of being a team that's just hard to play against. I do not think we're hard enough to play against, and we're playing against a very hard team tomorrow, again, a very good team. It's a good challenge for us to be harder in certain areas. And then the offensive stuff and the feel with the puck and the passing, I think, comes off of that. So it's not an individual. I think it's just a team outlook that we need to be a harder team to play against.
Yeah. I just wanted to ask about Liam as well. He was moved to the taxi squad, and just maybe like with Bemmer, a chance for a young guy to watch a little bit and just try to get some confidence back. Yeah.
I think Foods has made some good plays. He made a couple good plays a couple of games ago, made a play in a slot. And, I'm not crazy about taking him out of the lineup because I hate taking out that type of speed. But, there's a little bit of you don't want to set him up for failure, because there has been some struggles in his game. It's been pretty inconsistent. His skating's always there. He's done a lot of work this summer as far as getting stronger. It's just been a little inconsistent, and we're going to take him out. He'll practice with us though. And we'll see after tomorrow night's game, see what happens and see what our lineup is.
Okay. Thanks. Next we'll go to Brian Hedger. Go ahead, Brian.
Hey, John. Is overthinking a problem right now for you guys at all?
Well, I don't know. I'm sure with certain individuals, yeah. But I think that's what I'm saying, Hedge. I think we need to just set it aside, not overthink, and work on one thing, and that is just to come together as far as, if you asked a question of what we are right now, I'm not sure we can come up with one solid answer as far as what we are. That's what I want us to do, is just come up with, let's do the things that we can come up with an answer that we are hard to play against. And it's something we lived with for the past 3 or 4 years. That's how we live here. I don't think we can say that in answering that question. Some guys can, some guys can't. So we need to get everybody in that part. And then I think things fall into place. So I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, it does. Kind of changing gears just slightly. We've talked about the challenges of this unique season, obviously, the getting up for games and all that stuff. But I thought it was interesting yesterday. Michael Del Zotto mentioned something about how he's a new guy in the locker room. And, because of all the restrictions you guys got now, I mean, he can't really hang out with teammates and learn about guys. Is that an issue? And is that something like, I don't even know how you would overcome that, but I mean, that's another struggle or a challenge that you guys got to get through.
Yeah, but every team has to do that too. So I don't want that to be a crutch, but yeah, I think the guys would like to have some fun. I think that's a big part of relaxing and bonding together as a team. But all teams are going through this, through the protocols and the distancing and not going out to dinner, all that stuff. So I'm not going down that road, that being a problem with our club, because I just think it would be so wrong to talk about that within a sport when real things are going on around us in the real world that really means something in that part of it, where people are really struggling. So we got to figure it out. And I think it was you, Hedge, about overthinking. I just think we have to just simplify our thinking and look for that common goal of, I'm going to play as hard as I can tonight, whether it be there's no crowd and all that. You got to figure out somehow to get your energy into your game, and then do it as a group. And then I think we find ourselves that way.
Okay, and finally we'll go to Mark Scheid. Go ahead, Mark.
Hey, thanks, Glenn. John, how beneficial is the kind of the break in the schedule after tomorrow night going to be? As you've played 12 games in 22 days after tomorrow, but then you're going to get a couple days off and then a couple days off. Just how beneficial can that be that you'll get not only time off, but some valuable practice time?
Yeah, I haven't looked that far, but like today was a work day for us. It was time to get a tempo practice in, and we did some stuff as far as in our end zone and our battling. It's before a game, but we had a day off and only played one game. You got to pick and choose your times, but I do think it's imperative that we needed a practice like today. It's not your typical in between game practice where we just kind of move the blood a little bit. When you have that opportunity and you had a day off prior to the game we played yesterday, we need to take advantage of that time. There's not many times you have it to get a good stiff practice in. So, I mean, this wasn't off the charts, but we got some work done, and hopefully it'll carry over into our game more tomorrow night.
All right.